In this podcast episode, Vivek Ramaswamy, a former presidential candidate on the Republican side, shares his journey into the political domain and the challenges he faced during his campaign. He initially believed that having a well-prepared policy would be the main focus of his campaign, but quickly realized that getting on the map and being heard was the first battle he needed to win. Despite facing obstacles from the mainstream media and political consultants, Ramaswamy adopted a strategy of talking to everyone and anyone, including alternative media outlets, to get his message out. Ramaswamy discusses his experiences with Gacha journalism, where journalists set up traps to provoke candidates into saying something controversial. He recounts instances where he remained calm and rational during interviews, causing the interviewer to lose their composure and ultimately benefiting his campaign. One notable example is an exchange with Don Lemon on CNN, where Ramaswamy gave a history lesson that led to Lemon's firing. Other viral moments include interactions on The Breakfast Club and Meet the Press, where Ramaswamy's responses resonated with audiences and garnered attention on social media. Ramaswamy highlights the importance of authentic and earnest exchanges, both in person and on social media, that contributed to the virality of his campaign. He shares instances of engaging with protesters and individuals who disagreed with him, leading to respectful but heated discussions. These real conversations allowed Ramaswamy to showcase his ability to engage with diverse perspectives and stand firm in his beliefs, ultimately resonating with a wide audience. The corporate media's response to Ramaswamy's rise in popularity was mixed. While some outlets were intrigued by his unconventional approach, others felt threatened by his ability to bypass traditional channels of communication. This led to a backlash from certain media organizations who sought to undermine his credibility and influence. Ramaswamy recounts an incident with a reporter from The Atlantic who misrepresented his views on government transparency. The reporter selectively quoted Ramaswamy, suggesting that he believed in conspiracy theories about federal agents on 9/11. Despite requesting the full recording to clarify his statements, The Atlantic refused to provide it, leading to further misrepresentation in the media. Following The Atlantic's article, Ramaswamy was invited to appear on CNN to address the controversy. Despite denying the claims of conspiracy theories, CNN and other media outlets continued to spin the narrative, damaging his reputation and campaign. The media's coordinated efforts to discredit him highlighted the challenges of navigating traditional media channels as a non-traditional candidate. At the Republican presidential debate, Ramaswamy found himself at the center of attention, facing scrutiny from both fellow candidates and the audience. His presence on stage elicited strong reactions, both positive and negative, reflecting the polarizing nature of his campaign. Despite the pressure, Ramaswamy approached the debate with a sense of liberation and defiance towards the established political system. Looking back on his campaign, Ramaswamy acknowledges a mix of emotions, including smugness and disdain for the political process. He grapples with the challenges of navigating a system that rewards conformity and punishes dissent. As he continues to reflect on his campaign and the media's response, he considers how to move forward in a landscape dominated by traditional gatekeepers and industrialized politics. He discusses how he initially entered the race to combat what he saw as a growing mid-level tyranny within the political-industrial complex. Ramaswamy acknowledges that his approach to the campaign was influenced by a sense of disdain towards other professional politicians and a defensive reaction to criticism. He admits that his pugnacious attitude during debates may have hindered his ability to convey the full range of his leadership qualities to voters. Ramaswamy describes his decision to adopt a fighter mentality during the campaign, which led to a confrontational style that resonated with some supporters, but may have alienated others. He acknowledges that his focus on fighting back against attacks may have overshadowed his message and prevented voters from seeing the broader aspects of his character. Despite this, he expresses pride in his willingness to stand up for his beliefs and engage in the political process. Ramaswamy also reflects on his relationship with former President Donald Trump and the impact of his candidacy on the political landscape. He notes that many of his supporters were drawn to his fighter persona, but ultimately voted for Trump, who they saw as a proven fighter on a larger scale. Ramaswamy emphasizes the importance of supporting Trump in the upcoming election and working towards a shared goal of advancing America First values. Looking ahead, Ramaswamy expresses a commitment to continuing his efforts to promote positive change, both through the private sector and in support of Trump's re-election campaign. He emphasizes the importance of staying focused on his purpose of reviving America's national identity and self-confidence, regardless of the specific path he may take in the future. Ramaswamy expresses his belief that many individuals who support Trump do so because they see him as a disruptor who can challenge the entrenched political system. He draws parallels between Trump and the current Argentinian president, who has implemented radical cuts in Argentina. Ramaswamy questions whether a candidate like Trump with a 4-year mandate can truly make a difference in a system dominated by a managerial class that hinders effective governance. Ramaswamy argues that reforming the existing system is not feasible. Instead, he advocates for decimating the bureaucratic overgrowth that hampers progress. He emphasizes the need for a strong chief executive, whether in a university, company, or government, to dismantle the current system and rebuild from scratch. He believes that Trump has the potential to take on this challenge and create a new foundation for governance. Despite the divisive nature of Trump's presidency, Ramaswamy praises Trump's ambition for the country and his receptiveness to new ideas. He shares an anecdote about discussing the perils of a central bank digital currency with Trump, highlighting the president's intellectual humility and willingness to consider different viewpoints. Ramaswamy sees Trump as a leader who is open to learning and evolving, which could lead to positive outcomes in a potential second term. Ramaswamy acknowledges the polarization surrounding Trump and the potential threat it poses to the country's unity. He attributes much of this division to the media's portrayal of Trump and the industrialization of politics. Ramaswamy suggests that success can be a unifying force and a form of vengeance against the forces that seek to divide the nation. He believes that Trump's leadership, coupled with a focus on affirmative values, could help bridge the divide and strengthen the country. In closing, Ramaswamy emphasizes the importance of promoting a unifying vision based on principles of subsidiarity and distributed responsibility. He sees this as a fundamental aspect of governance that can counter tyranny and promote individual empowerment. He expresses optimism about the potential for Trump's campaign to shift towards this vision while navigating the challenges and assaults he faces.